Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you do subscribe to the notification bell, so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. Hey, I got a question. I know we all say it because it's, I don't know, somebody else said it, and it's the, the end thing to say. But seriously, I want y'all to think about this for a minute. Is this country collapsing, and we really are not seeing it happen, or we're not paying attention? I say it because, saw this movie, Leave the Earth Behind, Leave the World Behind, came out not too long ago on Netflix, right? And one of the scenes that stands out is the scene of the big cargo ship. This is an oil tanker. It was called White Line, and they found out that, White Line was the name of a slave vessel back in the day, cargo vessel back in the day, whatever. And there are other things in this movie that shows hints on Easter eggs to slavery, plantation, and old ways. It's still the same ways now. The scene where, like I said, the cargo ship is coming to shore, and everybody see it. Nobody thinks there's nothing weird about a cargo ship coming straight to a beach. It's not going sideways like normal vessels do. It's coming like straight for them. It's pointed straight at them. And they're looking, they're like, maybe not. Something's wrong now. Then they actually, instead of keep looking at it, they lay down, put on their sunscreen, and keep relaxing, right? The little girl, she's the only one that keeps looking at it like, something got to be wrong with it. And then eventually she's like, that thing's too close. And everybody looks up, and there's still people who are still playing in the water. Matter of fact, they got people taking selfies and pictures of it, not even understanding the law of physics. Like a boat that big that's moving at the rate it's moving, it's not gonna stop. When it's that close, nothing's gonna stop that fast, being that close, that's going over water. Even like a train going on rails, it's not gonna stop. Airplane can't stop in mid-air. Even when it hits the ground, them brakes better be working real good, because if not, that something gonna keep going. It's not gonna stop. So the point of that scene is, and the girl even, I think, says something when she's in bed. She talks about another film or movie where basically people see what's going on and ignore it, or by the time they figure out what's going on, it's too late. And I think that's what's happening with this country pertaining to the migrant crisis that was created by Biden and Democrats. Now, one of the last videos I did, the question was, why are they allowing this to happen? It's got to be a reason, because Joe Biden is not stopping illegal migrants, immigrants, or whatever, from coming over. Now, when Greg Abbott is saying, hey, we need to slow this down because we can't handle all these people over here. Then you got the Democrats, then you got the Latino and Mexican communities. And I do mean Mexican like Mexico. Are trying to say, oh, no, y'all can't do that. It's inhumane. But allowing these people to go from country to country, walking with kids through your country to get to here, that's not inhumane? Or, inhumane? That's not inhumane at all? That's okay if they do that. But then once they get here, we're supposed to be like, hey, we gotta let them over. We gotta let them in. We gotta let them do whatever. And you're like, that's kind of weird. I don't, you're like, I don't, where, how they figure that? But I said, my question is, are we not watching? And when you see these videos of these migrants coming to the border. Eagle Pass, El Paso, thousands of them standing there, waiting for instruction, waiting to cross over. And now they said that just yesterday, I believe, that more migrants are joining this next caravan that's coming through, coming from other countries, because America and Mexico are trying to figure out a policy or a treaty to kind of regulate this stuff. And so these migrants are hearing that, so they're like, oh, we got to go. So now it's like migrants from other countries. And this what came about the news. It's like, you got to make it make sense to me. You got people coming from other countries, and they're joining a caravan. You understand what that means, right? Which means like it's people coming up. Now, I don't know if they're walking, because that's a long way to walk. Can you imagine? I live in Texas. Anybody who's watching this, imagine if you live in Texas and you walk, hell, just walk the state of Texas, period. The state of Texas will take you at least, I know from Dallas to Corpus Christi, it's 10 hours. So from the top of Texas to the bottom of Texas, I think that's a good 14 to 16 hour trip if you driving the speed limit. From the very top to the very bottom. 14 to 16 hours, something like that. Driving. So can you imagine walking all the way across Texas, and you're going to get different weathers, different kind of varmints, animals, different police, different criminals, all the things that could stop you, rob you, kill you along the way, harm you in any way. You could run into that type of obstacles. But you got people walking countries, supposedly walking, to get to here. Because they know that once they get here, they're going to be sent to, them folks need money back. They're going to be sent to another city or state that's supposedly going to give them money and housing. So what they hear, that's what they hear to, for a better life. Them people will risk it all, will have nothing and risk it all and still be a family. That's one thing I want you people to look at. They have nothing. And they're trying to do something. I said, take their whole family. Husband say, we going. Wife say, okay. Husband say, I'm going. I'm gonna come back and get you. Wife say, okay. There ain't no, he ain't got nothing, so I ain't trying to be with him because, I need somebody making 6 figures. And this if we gonna be together. No, these people are married. They have very little, but they're trying to grow and feel like, hey, we ain't got nothing. Now, you got people in this country who ain't got nothing, who are together and will continue to have nothing because they ain't trying to have nothing. But these folks have something and will risk it all to try to get something. Something. When I say risk it all, I mean risk life to try to get something. Not trying to be a detriment to other people. Shout out to all you drug dealers out there. Out there trying to destroy your own communities, or you hustlers out there trying to sell a dream to our people on how to get rich and all that kind of stuff. But y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna get into that too much. So anyway, you got these migrants coming over, these caravans, so they're joining from different countries, coming together to come over, and to be like 10,000 of them, and they all come at once. So like, where in the hell are all these people coming from? This is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. And why is the government allowing this? And then when I saw these pictures, the first thing I thought of that came to mind, I didn't see the movie, but I saw the trailers and previews of it, was World War Z. And I think it's a movie about zombies trying to cross the border. I don't know the whole premise of the movie, but I'm just going by the pictures I saw. So I'm thinking to myself, is this World War Z coming to light? Now, I ain't trying to compare. I'm not trying to compare human beings or Mexicans and South Americans to zombies. But what I'm saying is, when you look at it and you see the trail of trash that they leave in debris. They call it debris. Just call it trash. The trash that they leave behind as they cross over the border. It makes you think that them folk been talking about this for years, but yet they describe them as zombies, half dead, if you will, or the Walking Dead, if you will, trying to get over here and find life to basically suck the life out of the people that are here. And then they'll just keep going until there's no more life to find, and they just be walking around like the Walking Dead, which is where they at, right? Pretty much where they are right now, waiting across the border. If that is the case, then you know it's only one or two things that you can do as a citizen of this country when it comes to zombies. So I'm just going to say it like this. You either going to have to fight or you're going to have to flee. Either or. There is no standing around watching them come in for your survival. There's no standing around and, hey, understand, I'm not talking about those that are coming over here the right way, as they always say. Come in, you go through immigration, you fill out your paperwork, you get on your whatever probation, you take your test, you pass your test, you get your work permits, you work, you pay bills, you pay your taxes, hell, join the military, police force, whatever the case may be. But you do it the right way. We're not talking about those. We're talking about those that are coming across the water, jumping over that razor wire, going under that razor wire, chance of life for a quote-unquote better life. But Bob was getting over here and saying, oh, this ain't what I thought it was going to be. It might have to go back home. For them, you have to, like I say, do two things for your survival. Either fight or you have to get away. So the question is, which one is worth it? My family and I made sure we either got and or renewed passports this year. We're using it for travel. 2024, planning on leaving the country maybe a couple times next year, like for real. Working on it now. But even with that, may not leave the country, might just leave the city, move off the grid, stockpile, your ammo, and your what you call it, your dried foods, water and stuff. Stock it all up, so you just be prepared, because a lot of these folks coming over here, yeah, they are committing crimes, they are robbing people, they are out here on the stroll. They doing a lot of stuff. They're out here assaulting people, deleting people. Yeah, some of them are, because they gotta eat. Like them zombies. They gotta eat. And they gotta feed off of you. Because what else they gonna do to survive? Because it's about their survival, especially now. They're in a strange land. But anyway, my question was, and it still is, what is happening, or what is about to happen, to where the Biden administration and Democrats in general are allowing this to happen and pushing for this to happen, and not trying to stop it or slow it down just yet. It's got to be an end game. It's always an end game. But you know what? I'll leave you with this. Old people, I always say, this old black folk, I always say, being too smart and knowing too much is never good. It can be a curse because you'll lose your mind and you go crazy trying to figure out why people do things. And I'm the type of person is, I look at people and I'm like, I no longer look at why. But you're gonna ask why, being in the profession I'm in, and it's about critical thinking, and they say you ask why till you can't ask why no more. Sometimes that's not the greatest thing to do, because if you keep asking why and dealing with them folk and dealing with why they doing why they allowing what's going on to happen, you're gonna be asking why to the rest of your life, and it's gonna drive you crazy. Like the old folks say, that stuff will drive you crazy. So I no longer ask why. What I do is I just say, hey, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. So now, what are you gonna do about it? That's the only way you can look at it. That people are who people are. That's like sometimes people do things and it's aggravate the heck out of you, or you can't understand. You try to get them to do certain things or live life a certain way, try to do better in their lives, and for some reason they just can't get right. So then you have to say, hey, well, since it is what it is, can't ask why they keep doing it. You just say, hey, that's just who they are, and you have to adjust your life accordingly. You're either gonna deal with it or live without it. What you gonna do? But they not changing. They doing what they gonna do. No matter how much you know, how much knowledge you get and learn about them, you can call them out. You can sit there and prove that they assassinated the president. You can sit there and prove that they assassinated Martin Luther King. And what you gonna do about it? What can you do about it? Not a doggone thing. So you can sit here and see that they are allowing all these people to come over here like zombies, like World War Z, or World War Immigrant, I guess, or World War M, or World War Migrant, whatever. You can see what they're doing, and you can go crazy trying to figure out why, when it don't even matter. Just do what you got to do to protect yourself, to protect your family, to try to protect your livelihood as much as possible. And it just may come to a time where you just may come to a point where you're just gonna have to, pack your bags and move on. Either move to another part of the country or move to a different country. Either or. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Because truth be told, ain't nobody's family lived in the same place since the beginning of time. Because if it was, we wouldn't be where we at now. Hell, my family, they from Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Carolina, South Carolina, I guess, Virginia. They're from all over. You know what I'm saying? And we out here in like the Dallas area, but shoot, it's gonna be by the time to make a move soon or figure it out. I really do think black folks need to get back to doing the whole like the small town family feel thing. I really do. I think we're losing that living in these cities, because I see that by like moving to like a little small town, and now they building it up real quick. My parents, they moved to a little small town, and now it's like it's just blowing up so fast, it's ridiculous that the infrastructure can't even hold everything that's being brought in. Just like where I stay at now, they're trying to build up real quick, and the infrastructure just right now cannot hold what they're trying to bring. So I said, man, look, we got to get back to what you still got. Go to certain places, you can see that, like especially like the black community, a lot of people know each other, whether it be in where they all work at the same store, go to the same school. Hell, family live. We got older family members that's in nursing homes, and they work in the nursing homes. They all know each other, So it's like, I'm like, that's how it needs to be. It needs to stay like that. Matter of fact, that needs to be magnified. The family. We out here being selfish, having one, maybe two kids, don't ever see the cousins. Hell, I remember growing up, I had, 6, 7 aunts and uncles on my dad's side, and about the same amount on my mother's side, but I think 3 or 4 passed away before I was born. But you talking big families. And when the holidays hit, the holidays hit, families all the whole family get together, even like once a month or so. The whole family get together, all your cousins, all your aunts and uncles, y'all together, at your grandmother's house. Having fun. But when you get older, you get your own family, which is understandable, and you may not have that set because you start your own. When you get as an adult, you grow up and you start your own thing. And so it's up to you to keep it alive. You start your own family, and then you need to have a bunch of kids so they can have, cousins. So your grandkids can have cousins and stuff, and aunts and uncles, and a bunch of, like a half a dozen cousins and stuff that they can grow up with and hang with and stuff like that, plus friends and things like that. That's how we're supposed to keep this going. But like I said, I think and I included, I think we got selfish in that, thinking that, one or two kids would be okay, and then I'm all right. But yet, when you get older and you have your own family, you and your cousins ain't kicking it like you used to. And then your grandparents pass and your parents get older, so you're taking care of them. So it's like, who are your kids playing with? Friends down the street? Okay, that's okay, but it ain't blood. It just ain't the same. It ain't the same thing. It ain't the same thing. I got, homeboys I grew up with, a couple of them I still talk to from time to time, hang with. But I still remember and still, be wanting to see, like say, my family from back in the day, my cousins, my aunts and uncles, stuff like that. That's who I rather hang around. To be cool. But anyway, that's all I got for right now. Speaking of family, gotta go see my youngins, because they in town and for like a little bit, so figure I'd go see them. You probably say, well, why they ain't coming to your house? Well, they went to my parents' house first, and but that's what I teach them. I teach them, hey, go to your grandparents. You need to get with your grandparents, be close. I want them to be real close to their grandparents because they the ones who need companionship more than I do. I mean, when I get older, don't forget about little old me, but that's one thing I want them to do more than I did. I did it for a while, but I want them to do more than I did. Like I said, let's go see your grandparents. You know what I'm saying? Show appreciation, see about them, love them, this, that, and the third, and and go on from there. But anyway, tell me what you think about. Tell me what you think about my World War Z story. Leave your comments below and then share it with the world. With that being said, I leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.